Sup, it's a True Floater, and I'm doing a review on Yolopark's Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. If y'all aren't familiar with Yolopark, it's a company that makes model kits, very simple model kits. If you only care about Transformers that transform, that is a very valid point, and you may not like this figure or a lot of their other figures, but if you care about detail and sculpt, you're going to enjoy on a lot of things I say about this figure. I only have positives, rarely negatives, and the negatives I have are very minor nitpicks, and those nitpicks stem from this being their first figure, their first Transformer figure from this movie. I don't know if they've made other stuff in the past, but from this line of Transformers that I'm aware of, they've only done 3, and this was the first out of 3. They did Bumblebee next, and then they did Optimus Primal, and so far on the third one, the negatives that I have on this figure, they fix a lot on that Optimus Primal release. But let's get straight into the review. Now, get some in-hand, footage of this guy. That's how he looks in hand. We're going to go into the articulation. This is, again, with it being a model kit and not having to worry about it, the engineering part of it having to transform into a truck, the articulation is really solid, really good. You can get this guy into a lot of different poses. His arm can go up that high. You can go around. Has a bicep swivel. I don't know if you call this a double jointed elbow, but if you bring this piece fully back, it allows for him to go that far up with the elbow. The hand goes all the way around. Sorry. He has a swivel in the waist. You can go a little farther if you kind of pivot these things. Yeah, you can. That's about as far as you can get it, but that's really all you need, which is really nice. There's a lot of moving pieces on this figure, which is great because he's still a robot. There's some bulky pieces that stick in the way, but because of those pieces, it allows you for some extra articulation. He can kick out that far. You can kick back. You can get more moving pieces. You can move the butt flat out the way, back that far. There you go with the knee. Let me go. You can move the foot all the way around. It also has a pivot, and with Transformers, it's really nice to see Transformers with the pivot. The foot can go down this far. It can go up this far. You can look up pretty decent. You can also look down as well. And now with the torso moves up this far. We'll like that to be a little better, but the torso moves down really nicely. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. Did I already say he has a thigh swivel as well? The articulation on this guy is really nice, and what I wanted to talk about as well is when you put this guy together, it took I think I may have in total, it took maybe 20 pieces to put this guy together, and some of the pieces were already put together. They do, the company Yolopark does some of it for you to make it easier, which I appreciate, because this was my first model kit, and I was really impressed, and I'm probably gonna buy more. I do plan on getting that Bumblebee. I don't know about Optimus Primal, just because I'm not a big, Primal fan, but it comes with weapons, so that's cool. The main problem with some model kits is that pieces can come off if you're doing too much. Sometimes you don't have to do too much and pieces will still come off. Not this guy. This guy stays real nicely together. You don't need to grab any super glue to glue certain pieces. And if I would say the only thing that looks like it's coming off is the leg sometimes when I twist it around a lot. But even then, it never falls off for me. And if you want, you can just push it back in. The only piece that comes off where you may want to put some glue, if you want, is the ears. You see that? The ears come off pretty easily. That's the only negative. I would say right there, it would warrant some glue of some sort. But so just be careful when you're posing around the head. Be gentle with it, you know. Don't force it too much, or you may accidentally lose that piece, and you don't want to do that. That's gonna suck. And also, we'll go into the size. I'm gonna grab some other non-transforming figures, because I'll be honest with you, I don't really buy a lot of Hasbro stuff. Let me come out the screen real quick. They get a good idea of his size. Here he is next to my MDLX Optimus Prime. And that, I thought that was a pretty decently big figure, but nah, he towers over him. And here he is with Bumblebee, my MDLX Bumblebee. These are, in the last couple of years, these are the only 3 Transformers I've bought. So, yeah. And I have to like hope it's actually really good for me to do that. But yeah, you know, more, you know, comparisons in hand stuff. There you go. Now we'll get on with the final part of the video. Alright, we're going to talk about the detail, the aesthetics of the figure. I got a quick 2 pictures I wanted y'all to focus on, get a good idea of how this figure looks overall. And this type of detail goes across the whole figure. The head sculpt looks really good, looks great. It also comes, well, I don't know why I said it also comes with, we're just talking about the sculpt right now. You can look at the window panes as well. The chest, great detail. You can see even the little mechanical wires and the pistons and everything in this guy. His neck. There's not much to say. I can't really go into a specific part that I don't like. I like everything on the figure for the most part. It's like a piece of art in a way. I don't know. Maybe I'm gassing up a little, but it looks really, really, really good. We'll go into another picture so y'all can have a bit more of an idea across the whole figure, what it looks like everywhere. Here is the lower region of the figure. Again, the detail is very masterful. The paint, they did a great job with the paint as well. They put gunmetal gray where it needs to be and silver where it needs to be. And also, same thing with the blue and red. They painted really well. The only problem I probably don't like about the aesthetic of this Optimus Prime is not that they did anything wrong. This is a preference. I prefer the Bumblebee design more than this design. I think this design is slightly worse than the Bumblebee one. I thought the Bumblebee one was perfect. I don't know why they slightly did a downgrade, but I'm glad to still, you know, still have this guy in hand regardless, even if the design is not to my liking. And another thing is, just so y'all know, the accessories. This guy does come with accessories. When I bought the figure and I put it together, my dumbass accidentally threw away the tray that had all the hands. I took out the hands, I put them back in there to use them again, and then before I knew it, I threw it away, forgetting that I put the hands in the tray that it comes in. So, yeah, that was my bad. That was my fault. I don't know why I wasn't thinking, but I threw away some hands, which sucks. But it does come with it comes with a lot of hands, open hands, palm hands, holding hands. I think holding hands. It comes with a lot of hands, which is strange because I don't think it comes with any weapons. No sword, no axe, no gun hand, or you know, the one where his hand transforms into a gun. It doesn't come with any of that, which I found is strange. That's the only negative I would give this figure, this purchase overall. Is that at least it's good that it comes with accessories, but there's some accessories you don't really need that needs to be switched out for something that makes the purchase even more worthwhile. But again, I don't really care because it's already a pretty cheap figure. Like the detail you get in this is like, I don't know, import quality level crazy. Like it's really good, and you get it for like $40, $45 or something. I'll look up the price again. I'll show y'all probably later in the video how much this guy costs. But the other purchases cost roughly about the same. the other Transformers you can buy from Yolopark for the most part. So now we're on to the final segment of this video, my overall rating. And if I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5 out of 10. I see no reason why not to give it a 9.5. I'll say a 9.5 out of 10. Very damn close to being perfect, man, because it does about everything you want. The only thing that stops it for some people is the preference that it doesn't transform, which makes sense. But if it transformed, if it was a transforming figure, that would destroy some of the detail and the sculpt. It's going to sacrifice some things. It's going to, always. That is always the case scenario. It's not going to be completely accurate looking to what he looks in the movie. And yeah, I get it. Some companies can do it. Some companies have been able to make a figure look really good and make it transform, but usually it's going to be very expensive. It's going to be 3 times the price of this figure. And I want you to understand, the sculpt is phenomenal. It's top tier. The sculpt, again, is accurate. The paint is accurate. You get a lot of gunmetal gray, a lot of silver. They do not miss out on paint, and you get all that plus the size. It's a big figure. It's not like he's extremely small. He's big. He's closer to, maybe, it's been a while since I've gotten a Hasbro Transformer to compare, but he's maybe closer to leader size than he is Voyager size. Like, let's say Marvel Legends was like a bit bigger. It's in the middle of a Voyager and bigger than Deluxe. So it's a bit bigger than a Voyager figure, I would say. So that's a lot. That's a decent amount of plastic. Probably, yeah, a bit bigger. About, maybe, again, let me look this. 8 inches tall. 8 inches tall. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And you get all of that for like $40. I want to. You guys can probably look it up. I'll put it on the screen. How much this guy was online, but I think I spent maybe $45 because I bought it online. If you find this guy in store, you're lucky. But I think it's like the normal price without taxes and shipping was $38, $35. So it's a pretty cheap figure as well. I wouldn't, like, some companies would give you this much detail and sculpt and will charge you $80. I love MDLX Optimus. You know, I love 3-0, but like, they're expensive, they're pricey, and they're smaller. This figure is just as good as those figures, but half the price. Yolopark is doing some crazy stuff. I say the only reason why it's this cheap is because it's a model kit, and people have something against putting, you know, their own figures together. I guess it's just an ick for some people, but man, if getting a figure this good looking and you can get it for that cheap because it's a model kit, I'll say make every figure a model kit at that point. And not just that, the only negative reason why it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me is the accessories. Now, you don't see the accessories in this video because my dumbass threw them all away by accident. I wasn't paying attention, I accidentally threw them away. But the only problem with the accessories is that he doesn't come with any guns or any blast hands or anything, just a bunch of hands, which is fine, but you would like to have a bit more variety. I would rather they switch out some of the hands you get with this figure for some weapons. You still get the same amount of plastic in those accessories, but switch some out, you know? They learned, again, this was their first figure they did, and then they did Bumblebee Optimus Primal, and they learned after that. Because Optimus Primal, not only does he come with hands, but he comes with some swords, which he is seen with swords in the movie. So they learned their lesson. So I'm not going to harp on that too much because they obviously learned after this guy. And I hope, you know, they keep making more figures in the future, and they give us the proper accessories. That's the only problem with this figure that stopped it from being a 10 out of 10. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about this guy, man. If you guys want to give this company a chance, go ahead. They make some really beautiful figures, really detailed figures. So yeah, you're gonna like it.